Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I know I am. Though I'm just getting over a real bad chest cold and all this congestion I had going on for the last couple of days. And I'm no longer employed, but that's okay, y'all, because I'm good. I'm good. That's one thing about me is that when you have an assignment, it's sometimes only temporary. And the work that I do is only temporary because I still have nothing but love for first of all in my life is God, my family, my community, and those I can help out in the world. But anyway, just wanted to bring to your attention that the Bowski gun, just so I could just go over some things with you. I just showed you these timelines of events. But before I go into the timelines of events, let me show you something here. Okay. Let me bring something to your attention here. Let me just go here and go in here, right? Now, these are all my notifications. I received a notification with my name tagged on it from Dabowski Gun. So, see right here it says Dabowski Gun. Let's talk about it. He mentioned me. He tagged me in this video. Okay, you see my name is tagged there, Casey McDaniel. So, by him tagging me in this video, which was done a day ago. I'm just receiving this notification because sometimes I don't check my notifications or anything. I just go past them sometimes. But for some reason, this one came up that Dabowski Gun tagged me. And I wanted to know what he had to share with me. So in this video, I'm going to play it and I'm going to let you hear what he was sharing in this video. He didn't mention my name in the video. He just wanted to bring something to my attention in the video. And that's why I want you to see this. Even though this other person here, Prima Donna, mentioned me in a post that she shared, and I just saw it today. This was like 4 days ago. Okay, that she cursed me out. She called me all kind of names, but a child of God. Um, she went on this rant about calling me. I ain't even been online today since getting off work. So I know who the gorilla talking about defending me because last time I checked, people can voice their opinion. She called me a gorilla, but I wasn't a gorilla when I was modding on her channel and I was also sharing some of her work. I wasn't a gorilla, you know. All these name callings, but anyway, let's go on. And it says, this gorilla talking about defending me because last time I checked, people can voice their opinions the same way her goofy so and so can run to check grit and prompt stupid blank calls to action while they talk around the fact they want some money with their broke so and so. She called me another name. Promote your stupid blah blah petitions and stop trying to reverse psychology yourself. See, I speak English and I try to keep my language clean and clear so I can get a point across to people. I ain't calling people names or anything. I correct them in the word of God because that's who I am. I'm a child of God. I'm a Christian woman. I'm near 60 years old. And I think I handled this more in maturity and also who I claim to be a woman of God, a woman of character and substance. Okay? She could say all of this that she wants to. That just proves the kind of person who she is. Okay? Psychology yourself into thinking that blank you typing up matters to me when you ought to know my personality well enough to know now to know I ain't R. Kelly a hoe and I'm gonna step all over your fragile blank blank my ego. Okay, but she's the one who's breaking down here, her ego. Okay. Y'all gotta excuse me because I'm still kind of congested. If you keep testing me, now go pray on that, demon. And then she tagged me, Casey McDaniel. So this is what I'm telling you. Well, anyway, back to what I'm talking about in this video. Besides all the distraction, I just wanted y'all to know why I had to go and tear her down in the word. I had to throw the book at her, the scriptures at her. You know what I'm saying? That's Jezebel. Jezebel manipulates, cause confusion, distraction, and all that other evil stuff that come out in the world that she plants, her wickedness. But Debowski Gunn sent me this video. He tagged me in this video, so I'm going to play it to you, and we're going to go over the timeline of events of what he saw. I even posted it on my community wall. So those of you who did not get a chance to really come in to see this video today, I wanted to post it on my time wall. I mean, on my community wall, so you can go back and read it all for yourself of what we're discussing here. So here we go.
Kelly, he was just pretending to be a supporter of R. Kelly. He was not actually a supporter. Right.
Now, he said that's not true.
What up, Evan?
We was never in a group together. Okay, watch this. As a collective, even though you got different branches, if you go into court to support R. Kelly, don't they group y'all together? Even when we not together? Then the bitch nigga said he only seen me once. Okay, let's do some recollection. The first time I seen him, it was at court, and a nigga looked at the ground. I stuck my hand out and shook his hand and laughed in his face. The nigga was terrified. I told this on many accounts. Nisimo and Denise took me to the airport. I begged them to take me to where they were eating at the Tavern on Rush.
What's up, Fox?
I told y'all many times I was going to blow his head off at the Tavern on Rush.
Now listen. Listen to that, right? When he first saw me, according to him, he shook my hand and laughed in my face, right? Then in the same breath, he said he was going to blow my head off at the Tavern on Ohio. Now, if you're going to blow my head off, that would mean you have to have a whole lot of hostility, right? So if you got all this hostility to the point where you're going to unalive me, why would you be shaking my hand in the first place? Do that make sense?
They group y'all together. Even when we not together. Then the bitch nigga said he only seen me once. Okay, let's do some recollection. The first time I seen him, it was at court, and a nigga looked at the ground. I stuck my hand out and shook his hand and laughed in his face. The nigga was terrified. I told this on many accounts. Nisimo and Denise took me to the airport. I begged them to take me to where they were eating at the Tavern on Rush.
Now, what I'm trying to show y'all here, by Debowski tagging me, now I haven't been on Debowski's platform. I haven't been in any kind of communication with Debowski. Yes, I have posted things about his work he has brought into the fight for Robert Sylvester Kelly's freedom and his due process rights and everything. Yes, I was subscribed at one time to Debowski's channel, but after he started getting ratchet and started disrespecting me and disrespecting people, I just got away from all of that noise. I just wanted to recognize the good works that he has done as far as like going to these and setting up, organizing protests and doing, those things, bringing the attention to the public about what was going on around R. Kelly's trial. He was basically trying to bring attention to people how they was railroading R. Kelly and bringing R. Kelly's people out to the fight. And not only just R. Kelly's people, but bringing it to the public. Point blank, period. Maybe he didn't do it in a way where it was with kindness and words of kindness, but his frustration and even dealing with his own trauma and pain from the system. And I just want to make this clear. It's not about R. Kelly, it's about the distraction that has been around R. Kelly's fight and the people that has been working behind some of the corruption, some of the distraction, and bringing all the drama around this man's legal battle. So we're going to continue to listen to this video because he tagged me in it and I wanted to share it here on my platform.
I told y'all many times I was going to blow his head off at the Tavern on the Rush. I wasn't joking. And Denise to them said, no, no, no. And we're making sure that you get on your airplane. And because we don't want nothing to go down, I didn't give a fuck. Because you played with my offspring.
Now, according to him, I played with his offspring. He was going to blow my head off at the Tavern on Ohio. You just heard all of this, right? But he still shook my hand. Do that make sense? That don't make sense. The topic today is the true interference done in R. Kelly's case by infidels over their hurt feelings. Now, if you recall, when all of this started, Dana J was saying, oh, I put your kids on the internet. You saying, well, nobody put your kids on the internet. I put it. Give me the picture. I put it up there. Next thing I know, I see Scandal Magazine got a picture of his child. I took the same picture from that magazine, put it up. He then proceeds to call my baby mother at work, threaten her, accuse us of being pedophiles, things of this nature. We all saw that. I put his son head on a water gun. He felt that was explicit pictures of a minor and that I should go to jail for basically child porn. But this same guy took a picture of my children and put them in two herpy vaginas. Now, Prima Donna put up a picture of her own child. I took the picture and said it looked like a crack baby. The two of them is complaining about their children being disrespected at this point. The two of them want charges to be brought against me for disrespecting their kids at this point, right? But why is the two of them talking to Agent Ryan Chabot in New York when neither one of them live in New York about their bastard ass crack baby kids? Now, I'm sure when you disrespect somebody's kids, it's bogus. It's not right. We can agree on that. 1,000%, right? But when you go after people's loved ones and family members, why shouldn't they go after yours?
So basically, what Dabowski is saying is that these people attacked his family, his loved ones, doxed his mother of his children, calling her job, and making threats. So basically, the seeds they were sowing came back and reaped on them. And what Dabowski is also saying is that it's not right. I can agree. It's not right to target people, children, to harm people, kids, to drag people, kids, and this. He admits to that. Okay. But these people also brought some guy, some agent from New York, and made complaints about Dabowski in New York instead of going to their own local government about the complaints. But they wanted to make it so it can target not Dabowski, but R. Kelly, because everything that they were bringing had something to do with children, violence against children, and pedophilia behavior towards children. While this was going on, R. Kelly's New York trial was taking place. And this interfered in R. Kelly's trial. And you saw the headlines when R. Kelly trial was going on. Dabowski Gunn was arrested in the headlines of the super fan. But he's going to talk about that. So let's go on and listen to the video. I just wanted to just show you what's going on here. Bring out, highlight some things that's going on. Okay?
If you post previous addresses of mine, why can't I post previous addresses of yours? If you're going to post my workplace, then why would you be upset about me posting your workplace? If you're going to put my kids in a herpes vagina, then why would you be mad about your kids being on a water gun? But both of these two individuals continue to drum on, drum on, drum on, drum on. We seen Prima Donna put up the detective in Bolingbrook contact information, encouraging people to join on to her complaint about her kids, right? My question is, why is you contacting Bolingbrook about somebody speaking on your crack babies when you can contact your own local police department? My question is, why is y'all talking to sex trafficking department in New York? Is he testifying against R. Kelly about some shit that don't involve R. Kelly? Now, you heard him play his phone call. You heard Prima Donna admit to making calls to this guy. All of this is happening while R. Kelly is fighting for his life. What did your crack baby kids, or your YouTube beef, or your bastard children have to do with R. Kelly? Nothing. Nothing. But yet,
The thing is that she wanted to take Dabowski Gunn as an R. Kelly face to the fight and make it seem as if he was the problem, that he was bringing the distraction because of the fact that they were able to look into his past of his criminal life, of his life with criminal involvement from his childhood or whatever, criminal past, and bring that into the R. Kelly movement to make it seem like R. Kelly's movement was based on nothing but a whole bunch of criminals that had wanted to use this fight for their own trauma and their own pain. But the truth was, maybe it was something to do with their own trauma of being railroaded, and there was some injustice done to them, so they were able to come in this fight and use what they know, what was happening to R. Kelly, to help R. Kelly and not to harm R. Kelly. But they turned it into a way to make them seem like they came to do harm to R. Kelly by making it seem that way to the R. Kelly supporters. And the truth is that they was the one working behind all the corruption, the dysfunction. And they wanted to, as long as they could get people like Dabowski Gun moved out of the way, who was carrying this movement very strongly on his platform, then they can destroy R. Kelly chances of ever having a fair trial or even being able to win in his legal battle. So that they can still pretend that they really here for R. Kelly, but the truth is they're not. They're working on the other side. They playing both sides of the fence. They making themselves look like R. Kelly supporters, but they're not. Levi for Kelly, Dana J, and Prima Donna. And if you could remember, from the time this whole R. Kelly thing started, Prima Donna was one of the first people to come on a platform and attract a whole lot of attention of R. Kelly supporters. So was Levi for Kelly, and so was Dana J. How they infiltrated in every group. And Prima Donna act like she was just standing alone, but she wasn't. She worked side by side with all the people who infiltrated this R. Kelly movement. Her hands are nowhere near clean in none of this. Her posting her photos of her wrapped up in the flag, in her nudity, and all the other behavior she has been doing around R. Kelly's fight and R. Kelly's justice, and even with me, cursing me out, calling me out of my name. I haven't called her out of her name. I never called her any nasty names. I just called her a Jezebel. And that's exactly what she is. She's operating in a Jezebel spirit. And a Jezebel doesn't necessarily have to be a female, it could be a male too.
Y'all complain about your bastard ass kids. It never went nowhere in your own state. It never went nowhere in your own state because if it did, you wouldn't have to contact Bolingbrook. If you was a resident of Atlanta, a resident of Tennessee, why didn't your local police department put out a warrant, uh, put out, issue a warrant, go and swear out an indictment, take your complaint and get a complaint warrant from it? Because had they came with a complaint warrant to arrest me, how would it look in court? You want to arrest me for putting this man child on a water gun, but he put my kids in a herpes vagina. You want to arrest me for saying this lady child looked like a crack baby when she got a whole page dedicated to me, showing my job, showing previous addresses, showing my criminal background with malicious intent. See, when you dishing it out, you got to be able to dish it in. But when they was dishing it out, they couldn't dish it in. So here come the police reports. My whole thing is when you make a police report on somebody, you make a complaint on somebody, why would you continue to antagonize, provoke, instigate? When you if something is serious enough for you to contact law enforcement, then it should be serious enough for you to leave somebody, that same person, alone.
What I did, like I said, when I feel like somebody ain't moving right with me around this R. Kelly whole thing around this R. Kelly thing, I just get away from their platform. I don't go out and make complaints about them. I call them out. I say what I have to say, and I just leave it as that, and I just move on. Because it's not about them anyway. I didn't come in this fight for them. I came in this fight for Robert Sylvester Kelly. And I don't go on and on antagonizing them I just leave them right there with their mess. Because eventually the truth is going to show up of who they are on its own. Just like now, Dabowski Gun must be saw something that I wrote on my wall and how I attacked, I mean, not attacked, but I called out Prima Donna. So he felt he had to send me this video. He's not going to say it in my words, but he's going to explain it in his own way of the things he has experienced and been able to witness about her behavior and Dana J.
Period. Now, every time I look at Prima Donna content, she's talking about interference in R. Kelly case, interference in R. Kelly case, interference in R. Kelly case, right? But while R. Kelly case going on,
But when they sent the fags at me, I recorded the phone call when they called me. And this how it went. Through YouTube or when they sent me you. Okay. Okay. All right. So let me just make sure. I want to make sure I'm understanding everything. So this guy, Christopher Gunn, you met because you guys were in a group together. And the group, just so I'm understanding, this was a group that was supporters of R. Kelly. Right. He was just pretending to be a supporter of R. Kelly. He was not actually a supporter. Right. Now, he said that's not true. Even when we not together, to the airport, I begged them to you get on your airplane. And so when I got on the airplane, he started talking all this stuff. Oh, one of the big bitches popping deuces. The group and anybody that of course. Okay. There was some sort of falling out between him and the rest of the group, and he started making threats against members of the group.
Now, I just want to be real honest here. Never have I saw Dabowski Gun close to Dana J. Never. Since I've been around this, maybe I might have missed something. I don't know. But Dabowski Gun from day one never really rocked like that with Dana J. Now, he might have been on Dana J platform in the beginning because when Dabowski first started his platform, he was standing alone. He really didn't have much of a platform until he collaborated or he got on a platform with Sky Zone. And they got into it. They fell off with each other because Sky Zone felt she was setting him up with this Larry stuff. But I don't know what was really going on. But when he was on Sky Zone's platform, and then he was pulling some of Sky Zone's subscribers over to his platform, which was the Enterprise. He named his platform the Enterprise. He changed his platform name to the Enterprise. And he also called me in as a subscriber as well. And I was still rocking with Sky Zone at the time. I wasn't rocking with Dabowski Gun, but when he started disrespecting Sky Zone, then I got away from him. Like I said, he started disrespecting me. He started disrespecting a whole lot of females, but I guess he probably felt that way. He was protecting himself. He was probably saying who was rocking real with this fight and who wasn't. He was just really trying to feel who was there for really truly for the fight and who truly was just there just for a whole lot of drama and a lot of problems or whatever it was. But he has put a lot of work into the fight. He was running out there. It was those videos used to be funny though. I have to laugh. It was entertaining, but he was bringing a lot of things to the light, and also him and DJ Tyson. Them two, them two were funny. Okay, they were hilarious. And then somehow or the other, the devil creeped into that and destroyed that fight, destroyed that teamwork together or whatever. But I used to crack up laughing. I was really entertained by those two. I wasn't taking my focus off R. Kelly, but those two was hilarious. Okay, Dubowski and DJ were hilarious. But anyway, let's go on.
Members of the group and anybody that opposes what he felt. Which is what? What is your viewpoint? If you didn't listen to him or if you didn't do what he wanted you to do, and then he would stalk you, he would harass you and all this other stuff. Gotcha. Okay. So anybody that disagreed with him, essentially, he would go after. Say that again. Anybody that he disagreed with, he would go after online. Right. Okay. And since then, so that started.
But what I could say about Dabowski is this brother got passion, though. He got a lot of passion. And when his heart is fixed on something, he go all in. He go all in. You know, if he believe in something that is wrong and he fighting for what is right, he is not the one to back down. He's gonna, I mean, he might fall a little tired and exhausted. And if we all do, you know, you get a little exhausted sometimes because this ain't an easy fight. This ain't an easy battle. When you see that is wrong and you know that is wrong, but you still standing though. You still standing. And that means he has a lot of passion. Of course, he had to disrespect a whole lot of people and he had to do what he had to do. But other than that, he's still standing.
Around 2019? Yes. Okay. And you reported him multiple times to Atlanta PD starting in 2019 as recently as last year.
And another thing is he ain't a liar. He's not a liar. You also got to give him credit for that. One thing about Dabowski, he's not a liar. And if he say he working for the feds, he working for the feds. If he say he love you, he love you. But if he don't like you, watch out.
2022 sometimes. Right. And he also has been harassing even well, I call them accusers, but even the victims of R. Kelly, he's been harassing. Okay, so he's just harassing everybody. Right. Okay. Along the way, he made threats of violence against you, against your family, the government, police department, other content creators. Made all kinds of threats of violence. Yes. That are primarily through his YouTube channel. What is his, if you were searching on YouTube, what's his handle?
Now,
What's his...
the guy that's on the phone is the same guy that swore out the indictment against R. Kelly. The same guy that got R. Kelly arrested. The same guy that got R. Kelly 30 years. In the middle of him prosecuting R. Kelly, this is what you're calling him to tell him? And Prima Donna, you're calling him and he calling you, or however you want to explain it, for your crack baby bastard kids? Why y'all didn't go make reports in your own town, at your own police station, in your own state? Wouldn't it make more sense to go down to your local police department and make a police report than it would to be contacting the feds on R. Kelly case?
There you go. I told y'all, I was telling y'all that Jezebel and that Dana J, they was working together. Okay? And if you haven't been here for the last 7 years in this R. Kelly fight, you just get in the beginning of it. You only just knowing what you getting from now. But you got to go all the way back from where it all started. From the time R. Kelly was under attack. Since 2019. I remember when I became a subscriber to Prima Donna's channel. When she used to come on. And most of the time she used to come on is during the evening times. When I was working as a processing teller during that time at a security place, like a Money Brinks place. That's what I was doing. So I didn't go to work until like late in the like 3 p.m. And I used to work overnight. That's what I used to do. My husband was driving the truck then. So I know from way back from the beginning when this all started that that woman, I thought she was authentic. I thought she was real. I thought she was really out here being a voice out here for R. Kelly, fighting for R. Kelly. But then I started seeing some things that just didn't seem right. How she started attacking certain platforms and started talking about when Dabowski came into the fight. When Dabowski came into the fight, that kind of made them mad because he was shining a whole lot of light on a whole lot of things and talking about it. And then they came in and attacked Dabowski to tear down Dabowski's movement for this fight. Her and Dana J. I remember when she first introduced to us DJ Tyson. Because I didn't know DJ Tyson. I met DJ Tyson from on her platform when she introduced DJ Tyson. When she brought him in, he was eating some chicken in some chicken place out in Chicago. He was driving around doing Uber at the time. And that's when I found, and he was living homeless and everything else like that in that category. And then he started going to protest with Dana J. And then he called Dana J out and how hypocrite, Dana J was a fraud and Levi for Kelly was a fraud. And he was calling out the sisters as a fraud. Everybody was coming and he was talking about also those I don't think he said too much about Dr. Carolina Diamond. And I know he went on Dr. Rice's platform and he was talking about it, and Sharon Wimbush was there. And I could go back, okay? So I can tell you all the timelines of events that took place with these R. Kelly platforms, who was really in the fight for R. Kelly and who weren't. And I just started feeling a certain way about um Dabowski because of the way he was moving and things he was saying and doing this, and I was just hearing all these different voices. So that's when I said, oh, he might be working for the feds too. He might be working against R. Kelly too. So nobody know who to trust. But with this, they knew Dabowski didn't lie about who he was. He said he came out of prison. He was in some trouble. He had some legal battles he was fighting in his life and everything, his own personal legal battles, his own personal struggles and everything else. But he wasn't lying. He was just trying to bring it to the front line like, look, this is who I am. This is who I was before. But I know they railroading this man. He was out there saying, free R. Kelly. He says, I don't even watch mainstream media or nothing like that. I mostly stay on YouTube. He gave a whole introduction of himself, a whole bio of who he was. He did not lie to you, his subscribers or nothing. Now, things got messy when he had these protests and then they turned into people coming there with sex demons on them and things happen. But other than that, he had passion. His mission was to help in this fight, to help in this cause and everything else. And this is when people started drawing attention more on personalities, more on the person, and not into moving away from the mission. So let's go on and listen to more what he had to share in this video.
What was they gonna do to me? That's what I want to know. What was they supposed to do to me? Were they gonna run down on me for your crack baby kids, and then what they was gonna do? What was they gonna do? What was supposed to happen for me saying your kid a crack baby, or for me putting your son on a water gun? What was federal about that? What part of that was federal? Maybe I missed it or something. What part of that was federal? I know somebody got to have the answer. What part of that was federal?
Okay, so I'm going to stop here at this video. Okay, if you want to go back and watch it, it's the true interference done in R. Kelly's case by infidels over they hurt feelings. And this is a video he has shared with me, and I wanted to come and share it with you. But I'm going to go over some of these timelines of events with you that has been happening around R. Kelly. So you know, I already shared with you what Prima Donna said about me, but that's, I'm not going to go back into all of that. You know, that's behind me now. You know, I said what I had to say about her, and I stand on it. You know, I actually stand on it. So, anyway, I want y'all to see. This is what my video is about. R. Kelly's case, supporters and saboteurs. And I did put this here. Timeline of events according to Dabowski Gun. Because I did write down everything he was doing in this video as I looked into his transcript. It says initial online drama. Dispute started between Dabowski, Dana J, and Prima Donna. Accusations included posting each other's children's pictures, name calling, examples like crack baby, allegations of harassment and pedophilia, escalations by Dana J and Prima Donna. Instead of reporting the boss to their local police department, they contacted federal authorities and New York agent Ryan Shabo, tied their personal complaints about online harassments to broader R. Kelly case, connections to R. Kelly's trial. At the time, R. Kelly's federal trial was ongoing in New York. By bringing their issues to New York authorities, they framed Dabowski's online behavior as part of supporter interference, made it seem like Kelly's fans base was threatening, chaotic, and hostile, created a distraction that tainted how supporters were viewed publicly and legally. Dabowski's arrest. Dabowski was arrested and labeled a super fan, accused of making threats to government officials, making threats to alleged victims. He insists that this was not the truth. Rather, the complaints from Prima Donna and Dana J blew things out of proportion and got attached to R. Kelly's case unfairly. The bigger impact. Dabowski argues that the real interference in R. Kelly's legal matters came from Prima Donna and Dana J. They brought unnecessary drama to federal attention. They painted R. Kelly supporters as a danger. They distracted from the actual defense of R. Kelly by making it about online beef. The bottom line, Dabowski Gun's position is he was targeted and set up by internal supporter drama. Prima Donna and Dana J weaponized their personal disputes by involving the feds. Their actions created distraction and negative optics during R. Kelly's trial, which ultimately hurt R. Kelly's chances and divided his support base. And that is what I wanted to share with you today on this in this video about supporters or saboteurs. Live with Casey McDaniel speaks, Prima Donna, Dana J, and Dabowski drama. Okay? So if you want to go back and listen to the video with Dabowski Gun, you can do that. I gave you the name of the video. I shared some of the highlights here with you. Also, my own input for Dabowski sharing the video with me and pointing out the things that he has also witnessed about these two saboteurs. Okay? The Prima Donna and the Dana J. Why R. Kelly got hit with a 30-year RICO. Okay, what made the enterprise, who were the people, and who was the person prosecuting R. Kelly that they were contacting to attach their personal drama to R. Kelly's New York trial where he was hit with the RICO. And the trial was done out of R. Kelly's jurisdiction in New York because this is who were the people playing behind the scene, infiltrating in this R. Kelly fight. You see, she called me out and said I'm not a R. Kelly HOE, right? But see how she kept attacking the other females like Geronda Pace, Rashonda Landfair, Sparkle. Just like the same things, people that of course, that other lady was attacking. What's her name again? Sharon Wimbush. When we were just only supposed to focus on the injustice being done to R. Kelly and calling out to the public how they railroaded R. Kelly, how R. Kelly had no jurisdiction in New York, but everything that was supposed to be his victims was supposed to have been in Chicago. So why was his trial moved to New York, where he was slammed with a 30-year RICO. And why? And then it gets more deeper than that, down the rabbit hole. But now we have revealed some of the truth here, even though we know it's operated at a higher level of corruption. But these are the people that have been around on the platforms of around the R. Kelly support system that have been bringing all this nonsense. Why they didn't contact their own local authorities for the harassments from Dabowski, so it would not interfere with nothing to do with R. Kelly, but instead they contact the Shaboro, whatever his name is, guy, so it can attach it to R. Kelly. This is what Dabowski was saying. And this is why he shared the video with me. So if y'all want to go back and listen to it, you can. Please hit the like button, like, share, and also subscribe. Because I got to get out of here. This is Casey McDaniel who speaks. God bless you and peace.